Now let's see object creation and modification in JavaScript. So we will see how we can create custom objects and then how we can modify them, right? So let's see what this constructor means. So here, using this constructor, we are creating an empty object. So we already know that object is the super parent or the parent of all objects, right? So using new object constructor, what we are having is an object without any properties and without any methods. Okay, so using this object, if we have a reference in a variable to this object, right, we can actually customize this object for our requirements. Okay, so let's see that through an example. Suppose that I need to customize this new object, right? Maybe I will now assign it to a suitable variable name like my car. Suppose that I'm going to customize this object to represent a car, right? So my car is now made to point to an object that is created using this new object constructor. Now, how can I add properties that will make this object resemble a car? So maybe a car can have a manufacturer and maybe a model name, right? So maybe I need to have a property named make and model for those things. Okay, so in case of JavaScript, the very easy way to assign properties and the corresponding values together is just using indirection, just like we use to get the value of properties. So suppose that if I need to make two properties, make and model, in the object my car, I will just give my car dot make and then equal to the property value that I need to put. Similarly, if I need to populate the model property for my car as the value fusion, I will give my car dot model as fusion. Okay, so I have effectively created an object named my car with two properties, make and model, with values for them. Now, is there any other way to create such an effect? Yes, there is. That is, we can actually use a brace-like representation, or in Python we have seen this as a dictionary form, right? So this dictionary like form in Python can be used to create object. Okay, so here where my car equal to make Ford and model fusion, okay, separated by comma, right? This actually tells JavaScript that I am in need of an object and that object has to be referenced through the variable name my car. And what is the requirement of properties regarding that object? I need two properties, make and model. Okay, so this new object constructor is entirely avoided, and instead of that, JavaScript will implicitly know that I need to create an object with properties make and model with values Ford and fusion. Okay, so this is very easy way to create a custom made object without using the new object constructor. Now suppose that I need to create another object within the current object, right? Maybe an object like engine which has some further properties, so I can do that also. So what I am doing, my car dot engine, okay, that's supposed to be a property, right? I am assigning it as a new object, so that will be a reference to an object. Now what are the properties of this newly created engine object? I have configuration like V6 configuration and horsepower as 263. So I will use double indirection. Why? Because the first object I am dealing with is the car, and within that I have an engine object. Okay, so the my car dot engine refers to the innermost engine object, and its configuration is V6 and HP is 263. Okay, like that I can actually configure objects. Now how can I access values of these objects, or how I can access the values of properties of these objects? There are two ways. Okay, one way is directly using the indirection operator. So suppose that I need to know the make of my car and I have to store it in prop1 variable or prop1 variable, right? Then I can give my car dot make on the right side so that I will get the make of my car assigned to the left. And the other way is I can use an array index operator like this, where the index has to be given as the property name which I need to retrieve. Okay, so my car is object, and within that the property which I need to see or to get value is make. Okay, so I can give it as my underscore car make. Then suppose that I need to remove a property, what can be done? So if I have a property named model and if I need to remove it from my custom object, I can use delete the object name dot the model name. Okay, so delete my underscore car dot model. Then suppose that I need to access every property within an object. Okay, so as we have seen now, and based on what you have seen up to now, if you can guess that in case of JavaScript, objects are very dynamic, right? And programmer can add property at any time, remove property at any time. So no one can be sure what can be the configuration of an object, that is what are the properties and what are the methods. Suppose that I need to go through all the properties of a particular object, or maybe to print that on an HTML page. So what I need to do, I need to go into the object and see what are the properties. So a variation of for loop can be used for that. So that is known as for in variation of the for loop. So I can take an identifier and use the in operator, and the in operator I am using is on the object on which I need to find the various properties. So this identifier will take on the values of the various properties of this object. Okay, it's like a mapping. So this identifier maps to the various property names for each iteration, and when I have a property name on this identifier, I can use a statement or a combo stream to affect some operations on those properties. So let's take an example. So we have defined many properties for our my car object, right? So we have seen, right, my car make, model, then what else? We even create a nested object, that is an engine, right, a property which refers to another object, engine. So we have many such properties within my car. So suppose that I need to list it out, right? So I can use a for in variation of the for loop. So how will I do that? So here what I am doing is I am creating a variable named prop, right, and that will actually refer to the individual properties of my car in each iteration. So for the first iteration, maybe it is referring to make, right? So the prop, assume that prop will take the value make, or the property name make, the first iteration. So what is this document dot write doing? It is actually writing the value prop. Prop means the variable name. Then the value, what is the value? That is my car of prop. So the value held by that property. So the property name and the corresponding property will be written.